In today's video, I'm going to be going over how you can AFK a Tier 3 VoidGloom Seraph without touching your computer once you get into the boss fight. You do literally nothing, and the admins kill them for you. Yes, the admins. So in my case, Minicloon and Jaya. Either way, let's get into the video. Subscribe, you know you want to. Very few people subscribe. If this does well, I'll be going over guides how to do this. Maybe tier 4s, maybe some other cool stuff. So, VoidGloom Seraphs are by far the hardest boss, or just period mob, really, arguably, in the game. Maybe outside dungeons, depending on how you want to look at it. They have a lot of effing health. Like, a lot of effing health. And have a lot of unique abilities. They are very endgame. However, there is a way to AFK them and not get hit a single time, and literally not hit them, not get hit a single time, and be able to kill them. This is using Necromancy. I'll be going over very briefly, and then I'll be showing you how to kill a tier 3 guy itself. What you need is you need 2 admins with a Necromancer sword or Reaper scythe. Now, in order to summon in these bad boys, you're going to need 2,500 mana total. This is pretty easy to get. Well, not pretty easy. It's decently easy to get. So I'll be using Necrotic Armor with Wisdom. And I'll be using Ult-wise 5, Sword Swap, Rich Soul Stealer's Bow, and a Sheep Pet to get me to that required mana. And then I've got like 100 extra overflow mana from my Soulflow pile. But you can use a battery, whatever tier version you want to. And then you should have enough mana to actually summon in these bad boys yourself. And they will auto-kill the mob for you. Now, these guys are crazy. They do 225,000 damage a hit and have 15 million HP, which is a consistent about 500 DPS a second. Also, big shout out to Sus, or Suspicious Player. He lended me all the items to do this. The sword, the bow, the armor, everything to do this, and provided me with the video idea and taught me how to actually do this effectively, so you can, don't get hit at all. Now, one thing very important you're going to need. If you want to fully AFK, there's another 2 other things you need. You need Withercloak and Goblin. Goblin, very simple, it sets your mana to 100. Withercloak, you can survive 5 hits, or you can survive a hit, but it consumes 20% of your max HP. With 100 mana, that's 20 mana a second. You regen, like, I think 10 or 11 mana, somewhere over 10 mana a second. If you have Ult-wise 5 on, that means you, basically speaking, don't die. So, now I'm going to get into a word from the person who actually let me all the stuff, Suspicious Player. He will take it away in describing how you actually get all these souls, and here's some of the base stuff about Necromancy. Once that's done, I will be showing you how you can actually do this and proving it using a tier 3 and tier 2 Slayer, but if I can kill a tier 3, I can kill a tier 2 AFK. So, I'll go with the tier 3 one. Without further ado, let's go into that.
So basically, Necromancy is one of the key mechanics in Skyblock. Necromancy is used by using Necromancer swords, Reaper scythes, and summoning rings. Basically, if you kill an enemy with a Necromancer sword or a Reaper scythe, or you kill enemies while having summoning rings in your inventory, the mobs or the enemies are going to have a chance to drop a soul. Soul is based on the level of the mob. So the higher the level, the rarer the souls. Some mobs have special tags so they couldn't drop souls. Those specific mobs are like bosses or very overpowered enemies. When they drop their souls, you can pick up the souls and then summon it at a cost of a certain amount of mana. And the mana scales with how strong the mob is. The stronger the mob, the more health, damage, and level the mob has, more mana it costs to summon. Master mode dungeons are significantly stronger than normal mode dungeons at the same levels, so they have the same chance to drop the souls. And there is a special room in the catacombs called the admin room. The admin room contains crypts of all of the admins of Skyblock, including Hypixel, Varman, Minicloon, and all of the guys. So if you find those admins on the admin room on master mode, blow up the crypts and then kill them, they have around a 70% chance to drop their souls. You can kill them, absorb their souls, and take their souls outside of the dungeon, summon them, and use them to kill strong enemies, like the VoidGloom Seraph and stuff. So the thing is, as they are very strong, and as I mentioned before, because of the mana scaling, this takes an insane amount of mana to pull off. Because of this, we have to resort to a few ways to increase our mana. You can use the ultimate wise enchant. Next, we use wise armor to further reduce the amount of mana used, and we use the sheep pet level 100. It reduces the mana cost by 20% more. So finally, it costs 1,246 mana to summon one undead. So for this to be efficient, we need to summon two, which costs 1,250 mana in total. So how do we get this insane amount of mana outside of dungeon? The thing is, we're padlocked and armor locked. So how do we do this? First, we put necrotic on your wise armor, which gives you total 1,000 mana. And next, you should have 300 base mana. You increase your alchemy and enchanting level. If you do not have this, and then I recommend drinking a bottle of Gier or Jerry or Jire, I don't know, or eating a jerry candy. They both work. And the next thing, you would want to put Wisdom 5 on your Wise armor. This gives you 400 mana if you have a 100 XP level. Next, you would want to get a very high intelligence weapon to hold and get a lot of mana, and then swap to the necromancy weapon, and then summon the mobs. So that brings our total mana up to 2,100, and we only have 400 more mana to go. If we put a textbook on our sheep pad, it gives us 200 more mana, so that's 200 more mana left. Now we use a different mechanic, which is overflow mana. Overflow mana is a new kind of mana added in the Enderman Slayer update. Overflow mana is obtained by entering combat and leaving combat with the Soulflow Battery family talisman. The Soulflow Battery, which is the lowest tier, gives you 200 mana for the cost of 2 Soulflow. If you're Enderman Slayer 4, you probably want to use a Gloomlock Grimoire instead because it's much more convenient. But if you don't, then a Soulflow Battery is fine. Just use a Soulflow Battery, turn it on, enter combat, leave combat, and you have 200 more mana. And that's enough mana to summon 2 of the undeads. One more note though. The higher the dungeon floor, the higher level, the higher damage the admins do. If the floor is higher than Master Mode 1, then it's actually pretty hard to obtain the souls. So I recommend just using Master Mode 1 souls.
As you just saw, I was able to fully kill a tier 3 VoidGloom Seraph without being 100% AFK. Now, if you're wondering how I got to the spot I did, which I recommend you do, you can survive without it, but you want to go to the VoidGloom Sepulture, I 100% can talk, and go up as high as you possibly can. You want to get to this area. This is where everyone sweaty does their bosses. From here, you want to teleport up into this little corner crevice right there, and I was going to be a pain to get up to. You When I get into here, then for me, I usually insta-swap into Goblin, Sword, and then Wisdom 5. So that way I'm able to take a bunch of damage without doing anything. And then if you ever need to, you can always swap back. This guy doing... Yeah, this guy's doing... He's doing the sweaty thing. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I found it helpful, entertaining, any of the above, useful, insert adjective. Subscribe, you know you want to. I'll see you guys next one.